October 26th, 1881. Tombstone, Arizona. A dusty street, a tense standoff, and the sound of gunshots erupting through the air. In just 30 seconds, 3 men lost their lives, and the legend of the Wild West was born. Welcome to The Famous, where we dig in all things which are or were famous. Today, we're talking about the gunfight at the OK Corral, a moment that's been immortalized in movies, books, and campfire tales. But what really happened that day? Who were these men, and why did they risk it all in an intense exchange? Stick around as we separate fact from fiction and bring this iconic confrontation to life. Picture this: Tombstone, Arizona, in 1881. It's a boom town, practically buzzing with energy after silver was discovered nearby. Miners, gamblers, saloon keepers, and various characters filled the streets, all chasing fortune or trouble. It's a place where the law is more of a suggestion than a rule, and the air crackles with tension. Enter the Earp brothers, Virgil, Wyatt, and Morgan. Virgil's the town marshal, a no-nonsense guy trying to keep order in this wild frontier. Wyatt and Morgan are his deputies, backing him up with grit and determination. They're tough, but they're not exactly saints. Rumor has it they've got their hands in the gambling scene too. On the other side, you've got the Cowboys. No, not the football team. These are a spirited group with a reputation. Think cattlemen and their associates, some known for causing disturbances. They're the kind of folks who don't take kindly to rules, or to the Earps directing them. The stage is set, and it's only a matter of time before sparks fly. Now, this wasn't some random exchange of fire that came out of nowhere. The animosity between the Earps and the Cowboys had been brewing for months. It's a classic Wild West cocktail, mix gambling debts, political rivalries, and some personal grudges, and you've got a volatile situation. Things really heated up on October 25th, the night before the gunfight. Ike Clanton was in Tombstone, under the influence and making vocal challenges. He'd had it with the Earps ever since Virgil detained some of his associates for robbery. Ike was stumbling around, waving a firearm, which, by the way, was against town ordinance, and making serious threats against the Earps. Virgil wasn't having it. He tracked Ike down, struck him with his pistol, and took him to be detained. The next morning, Ike was back on the streets, sore and furious. His brother Billy showed up, along with Tom and Frank McLaury, all heavily armed. Word spread fast. The Cowboys were looking for a confrontation. Virgil knew he had to act. He rounded up Wyatt, Morgan, and their buddy Doc Holliday, a gambler with a quick draw and a reputation to match, and they headed out to de-escalate the situation before Tombstone saw wider conflict. It's around 3 p.m. on October 26th. The Earps and Holliday marched down Fremont Street, boots kicking up dust, eyes locked on their objective. The Cowboys are waiting in a narrow lot near the OK Corral. Fun fact, the fight didn't actually happen in the corral, but close enough for the name to stick. Virgil steps forward, voice steady but firm.
"Throw up your hands. I want your firearms."
For a split second, it's completely quiet. You can almost hear the wind whistling like in some old Western flick. Then, the situation escalated rapidly. No one's 100% sure who fired first. Some say Billy Clanton and Frank McLaury went for their weapons. Others swear the Earps initiated the firing without warning. Either way, in less than a minute, 30 seconds to be exact, the air's thick with smoke and the sound of shots exchanged. Around 30 shots were fired. Billy Clanton was struck in the chest and wrist, resisting till he fell. Frank McLaury's hit in the abdomen, and Tom tries to grab a rifle off a horse but is hit by Doc Holliday's shotgun. Ike Clanton and Billy Claiborne fled, leaving their friends behind. Morgan's wounded in the shoulder. Virgil's leg is grazed, and Doc receives a wound across his hip. Wyatt, untouched, cool as ever. When the smoke clears, 3 men had perished, Billy Clanton and the McLaury brothers. The survivors departed with their injuries, and Tombstone's left reeling. The gunfight didn't end the story. It lit a fuse. The Earps and Holliday were brought in and faced serious charges. The town split down the middle. Some saw them as heroes cleaning up the streets. Others called it an unjustified action. After a month-long hearing, the judge sided with the Earps, saying they acted in self-defense. Case closed, right? Not quite. The Cowboys weren't done. In December, Virgil was ambushed and seriously injured. In March, Morgan was fatally attacked playing pool. Wyatt had enough. He teamed up with Doc and a posse for what's now called the Earp Vendetta Ride, pursuing those they held responsible. It was intense and led to further conflict, straight out of a revenge movie. So why does this 30-second confrontation still matter? The gunfight at the OK Corral became the symbol of the Wild West, law versus chaos, order versus freedom. But it's not as simple as good guys versus bad guys. The Earps weren't angels. They had their own agendas, tied up in gambling and politics. The Cowboys. Sure, they sometimes operated outside the law, but they were also ranchers and family men caught in a changing world. This clash marked a turning point. It showed that even in the wildest corners of America, the push for control was winning out. And it gave us a story that's been told and retold, each version adding a little more shine to the legend. Let's zoom in on the people, because that's where this gets real. Wyatt Earp, calm, calculating, a lawman who wasn't above bending the rules. Then there's Doc Holliday, the dentist turned gunslinger, coughing his way through life with TB but loyal to Wyatt till the end. Billy Clanton was just 19, full of fire and guts, falling in the confrontation with a weapon in his hand. The McLaury brothers were brothers in every sense. Tom and Frank fought and were overcome together. Behind the shootout, there were women too. Josephine Marcus, Wyatt's love, and Big Nose Kate, Doc's fiery companion. These weren't just names in a history book. They were people with hopes, fears, and families impacted by that day. Hollywood couldn't resist this story. You've got Gunfight at the OK Corral in 1957, with Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas chewing the scenery. Then there's Tombstone in 1993. Kurt Russell as Wyatt, Val Kilmer stealing the show as Doc with that iconic "I'm your Huckleberry" line. These films tweak the facts, sure, but they've kept the OK Corral alive in our minds, turning real men into larger-than-life legends. What's the takeaway from the gunfight at the OK Corral? It's a messy, human tale of loyalty, confrontation, and survival in a world with no easy answers. It's not just about the details of the exchange, it's about what it meant then and what it means now. A clash that shaped the West and left us a story we can't stop telling. Today, you can visit Tombstone, walk that dusty street, and watch actors play it out. But the real magic, it's in the truth behind the myth, a reminder that even in the wildest times, people fought for what they believed in, right or wrong. Thanks for watching. If you liked this dive into history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.